Hi, in this video we'll be going over the continuation of the C# video tutorials. So we'll be talking about pretty much just the continuation of the last few videos where I made a class called Automobile. So you haven't seen that video, it's going to be in the csharp.net playlist on my channel. So we have the Automobile class here. So we'll just be working with inheritance again. So we have this automobile class. If you want to see everything, how it's like how everything was discussed, all the concepts and all that, it'll be on my channel in the csharp.net playlist. Might be called Visual C#. I'm probably just going to change it to csharp.net at some point. I think it might be called csharp.net. Visual C#.net, something like that. So that's the class. So then we have this class car. I don't think we're going to use this one. So it's just car extends automobile. So I created another class called truck and another class called SUV. So you're going to need actually one more thing. This form here, I just quickly dragged and dropped a couple of controls on the form. Well, just one. I skipped the exit button because we do that often. So I just have one button here. It's called Create Object button. I changed the font size through the font property, and then the name property, and then the text property. I didn't set auto size to true. You can if you want. You can change the colors of the form, whatever you want. We've done all that in the past, also in code. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so first we'll do the truck class. We'll set up the properties for that and the backing fields and all that. Okay, so we have truck here. The namespace is just, I just have it incrementing by 1 for every new project. You can name them whatever you want. I don't even think you really, actually, yeah, I think you might, maybe not. You can just use a namespace if you want. You can try it with or without. I have this main form in the namespace as well. So I think if you want everything to connect together, you might need everything to be in the same namespace. It's used to group common objects, like a container to group common objects, so you can just group all your classes together and all that. Okay, so I'll just give the viewers who are going to be following along in their IDEs to just set up these two classes here. Just give you a few seconds to do that. Alright, so we'll have pretty much just a field here to start. So we'll have a private, the keyboard would work. Okay, so we have a private string underscore drive. Okay, so that's the backing field here. Then we'll have the constructor. We're just going to reference a class name. It's going to be a parameterless constructor. So here we'll set the backing fields underscore drive. Since it's a string, we'll just set it to empty, just an empty string. So if we go like this, there's going to be a space in the string. If we go like this, there's going to be nothing in the string. But in this case, it's not null. Okay, so here we'll have the property. We'll set up the property. So all we have to do is call public, the type, and then the name, which we'll just capitalize. Then here we'll just open a block. So we'll just call get here. We'll open another block. We'll say that we're going to return underscore drive. Then we'll set. So we'll say drive points to value. That should be it for the truck class. We'll move to the SUV class. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. Maybe, yeah, so it's just going to have one backing field. So sports utility vehicle or SUV, we'll just set it. Oh, actually we forgot one thing, my bad. So we'll go public class truck inherits from automobile. Don't forget the inheritance relationship here, so truck is able to access. Well, it's gonna inherit all the it's gonna inherit all the pretty much all the data from the automobile class. So fields, methods, properties, event handlers, and not the constructor though. It's kind of tricky because I've talked about this in the last video. So we go into depth about everything, why it doesn't inherit the constructor, but how it still sets up because remember it does inherit these. It does inherit the fields, but the thing is you can't access them through private if they're private. But you can access them if they're protected. If they're private, you can access them through the methods, in this case, which are properties. That gives you access to the fields, but not directly. So all that stuff we discussed it. There's a couple of tricky things in there to remember. So here we'll just have, so this will go SUV extends from automobile as well. Okay, so here we'll go with a backing field, so we'll just say we have private int, and then we'll say we have passengers. And we can just call the constructor underneath, so we'll just say public automobile. There's not going to be any parameters, so we'll just set underscore passengers to 0. We'll just initialize it to 0 to start. And then we'll just set up the backing field with the property, so we'll just say, actually something's wrong with that, my bad. Sorry, not public automobile. Change the name to SUV. And then no parameters. And then here underneath we'll just say, we'll create the backing field. Sorry, we'll create the property using the backing field, so we'll say public. What type is it? It's an int, so we'll reference int, and then here we'll say that we want it to be capitalized. No parameters, no parentheses, so we'll just open a block here. And then we'll say get. Did I spell that wrong? Passengers, no? What's wrong with that? Okay, we'll just go for now. So here we'll just return the backing field underscore passengers. Okay, the error disappeared, so it's waiting for the get and set. So underneath set here, we'll just say underscore passengers points to value. That's pretty much it. So now I'll go to the main form. Well, it's just called form 1, but you can change the name to main form if you want. We just have one button, so we'll set the button up. So in the constructor, I called it create object button. So here we'll just say create object button. Dot click, the thing with the capital, plus equals new event handler. Passing in create object button underscore click as a parameter. Underneath that, we'll create the event handler. So we'll say private void create object button underscore click takes parameter object sender comma event argsy. Okay, so the red lines turned yellow, or the text, and then here, so that means there's no error. Okay, so let's actually here am I in the wrong class? No. Okay, we're gonna be so we will need the car class. My bad. So you will need this car class. So you can just pause the video. You can watch the previous videos in the series to understand how everything's created as well. Up to you. So here we'll go back to this create object button underscore click. We'll instantiate an object of type car to start. So we'll say car points to new car. We can name the car whatever you want. No parameters. So here we'll say car.make. So we'll access the make property. We'll set it to whatever, forward. So here we'll have, on the next line we'll say car.model points to, let's go with the, is this supposed to be a year? Okay, well let's go with a year for model, whatever you want. So here we'll have car.mileage points to some number, not in a string. We'll just say like 1,000 kilometers. And here we'll say car.price points to some number. And then here underneath we'll have the doors, so we'll say car.doors property points to 2. Okay, so that's fine. Now we'll go for a truck. So we'll instantiate a truck object. Underneath we'll say truck points to new truck. Here we'll say truck dot, we're just going to do the same thing, pretty much just change the stuff around. So we'll say truck dot make points to some make, so let's go with 40 again. So we could say truck dot model points to, I don't know, what's a good model? Whoops, it should be capital. Let's go with lightning. And then did I spell that wrong? Yes. Okay, so underneath, so here we'll have truck.mileage points to some mileage, 1000 km or something. Okay, so here we have price, we'll just put some price. Okay, so underneath that, we'll just have the, so remember the truck has another property that's accessible. So we said that it was, we have drive, so it could be like transmission or something. So we could, here we could say truck dot drive property points to manual. I think it's a string, we'll say manual. Okay, so let's create an SUV object, just one more here. So we'll go SUV points to new SUV. So basically the point of this is just to set, like show how you can set data and then pass it around. Pretty much just to an app. So here we have, for example, for the next one, we can just say that we have SUV dot make points to, what's an SUV? I don't even know. We could just go with Jeep or something. Okay, so we have, I'm just going to set a bunch of stuff as before, so you can just copy it out if you want. Hopefully I spelled Cherokee right. So we have SUV dot X, we'll access the mileage property again. Spell that wrong. No. Whoops. Okay, so we have price and then passengers. Because remember our SUV class has the passengers property. So we'll just put like maybe 5 here. Okay, so we have pretty much that's it. So now we'll actually just set up some of the excuse me. So when we click the button, we'll just show up pop-up windows. So we'll just say message box dot show. We'll reference card dot model. Excuse me. Let's have some water here. My throat's getting dry. Alright, so we'll have message box dot show, and we'll say card dot model plus an empty string plus a string that says has, plus we'll reference the mileage property, so we'll say car.mileage, plus or concatenated to another string here, we'll say km, comma, at, close the string, concatenated to car dot price dot toString, call the method toString, passing in the C currency formatter, concatenated to another string, and we'll say and has space plus car dot doors, reference the doors property, plus the string doors. Okay, that should work. We're gonna do that 2 more times here. So that's the first message box. I think we can just that's okay. So we'll just write it out again. We'll say message box dot show. We'll say sub dot model. Whoops. Plus an empty string, so to space it out, I guess. Concatenated or plus truck dot. Actually, no, I messed this up. Sorry. We'll go with truck dot model plus an empty string, concatenated to truck dot make, concatenated to the string width, or we could say has, plus truck dot mileage, concatenated to km in a string. Whoops, what did I do there? Okay, so km in a string, and then we'll say, where's that at? Okay, so km, and then we'll say, we can just add a space like that. And we'll say at, close the string, plus price dot, nope, sorry, truck dot, the price property, dot toString, passing in the C as a currency formatter, plus another string, width, space, plus truck dot drive, semicolon. Okay, so one more here, so we'll have SUV, oops, sorry, message box dot show. We'll pass in SUV dot model plus a space plus SUV dot make plus a string, has plus SUV. Hopefully this makes sense, but like the actual grammar of it. So SUV dot mileage plus a string km at space in the strings. Concatenated to sub dot price dot toString, passing in a C as a currency formatter in a string literal, plus another string, we'll say space with, concatenated to sub dot the passengers property, plus a string passengers with a space, and then semicolon. Something's wrong with that. Okay, let me just check. Might have missed a plus here or something. Well, let's just see where it is. It says there's a comma expected on line 50. Okay. So okay, so sub.model plus an empty string plus. Should be a plus here, I think. There you go. So I'm just going to save that and run it just to explain what's going to happen here. So remember, so you won't be able to see the pop-up, but I'll just explain what's going to happen. So I'll click the form here. We should see from that form class. What happened? Did it disappear? Okay, so maybe it disappeared. So let's just go with, I'm just going to save it and explain what's going to happen. So we're going to have that form that we designed earlier. When you click the button, just some pop-up windows are just going to pop up above that. Sorry, someone's mowing the lawn outside, so if you can't hear me, that's probably why. Okay, so the pop-up window, create object popped up. I'm going to click the button. So now another pop-up window comes up with all the property. It says 2007 has 1000 km at $1 million and has 2 doors. I'm going to click OK. The next pop-up is going to come up. Another window, it says Lightning Ford has 1000 km and 1000 km at $1 million, or $1.2 million with manual. We forgot to say transmission, that's fine. Next one, I clicked OK, it says Cherokee has 2000 km at $1 million with 5 passengers. Okay, so that's it. 3 pop-up windows came up. Every time you clicked OK, the next one popped up. Okay, so that's pretty much the end of the tutorial. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys like the video, you can like and subscribe to support the channel for more programming and investing tutorials. So in the next video, we'll be talking about, what are we talking about? Let's see. Alright, so it's another lab to practice, I think maybe some overloads and stuff like that. Some overloaded constructors and maybe methods using inheritance. So thanks for watching, guys. If you guys want to see the rest of the videos, it'll be on the csharp.net playlist in my channel. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Thanks.